Welcome to the Running with James podcast, where every High Rocks athlete, OCR competitor, and the everyday runner has a place. We're passionate about building a community that supports, building confidence that empowers, and building champions who rise. Together, we'll push limits and chase what moves us. Remember, when you change your mind, you change your life. Now here's your host, James Wyatt.
Okay, so last week, I think the number was 6, Lauren.
Going for 7?
No, the number 6 was the amount of times that you bumped the microphone.
So we're saying I should go for 7 today?
So I'm saying today you should try to go for 0.
We need to have a little board.
No, we need to stop hitting it.
So every time I do it, it's like it's been this many days.
No, stop doing it.
I don't do it intentionally. I just don't. I'm expressive with my hands.
I don't think you're hitting it with your hands, actually. Because I'm expressive with my hands. I talk with my hands all the time, and I don't ever hit it.
I don't know what I'm hitting then.
Your elbows, your knees.
I'll be mindful.
Because you're constantly, like, fidgeting your legs all over the place.
I'll be mindful.
Okay.
All I can do is try.
All we can do is try.
I believe there is do or do not. There is no try. That is what Yoda said.
Well, facts. Yeah.
Facts.
He was wise.
He was wise. Wiser than them all. And welcome back to another edition of Running with James. I'm your host, James Wyatt. We're joined by the usual suspects. Coach Lauren to my right, your left. Coach Carlos to my left, your right.
Hello, hello.
And the crew is in the house today. It's a good day. It's a nice day. The weather's been lovely.
It's been awesome.
It has been very nice, getting better and better and better. Got some stuff coming up. It was a big weekend for... we made it like 30 seconds.
That was good. That was all. I felt it today. I thought we were going for it. Yeah. I thought we were going no microphone bangs. I was like,
I'm sorry.
I had confidence in her too.
It's freaking ridiculous, man. I don't even know. Help me.
It was more of the fact that you made that.
I don't know what she said. She's just speaking gibberish at this point now.
Just
anyway, it was a great weekend for the BC crew. A lot of racers, man. Had Jessica and Larry raced the Chicago Marathon.
Ooh, yes.
Coming in with big PRs, both of them. Larry ran a 2:50, 50-something or whatever, so that's pretty quick.
Very quick.
A little fast.
I was watching on the app. It was,
yeah,
I was
fun
like,
to watch him.
It was like, the miles are coming.
His pacing was on point, man.
Yes.
He did such a good
He's
job.
great.
I was very proud of him. Jessica came in 3:06.
That's so
3:06, like 30-something. So her goal was like right at that 3:05. She was like 30 seconds off of that, and she fell.
That's incredible.
She fell like mile 19 or something like that.
No, that's incredible. She got back up and
was able to push through. Yeah, and she was still so close. So, but I mean, still, I think it was like a 3-minute PR or something. When you're running that fast already, to take another 2 or 3 minutes off,
That's a big deal.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
especially doing the amount of races she has done.
Yeah,
it's if you've done one race and then doing another one, it's a lot easier to PR. But once you've reached a certain level, yeah.
So, had last Thursday we had Lana, one of our youthful athletes, one of our young athletes. She's 14, I believe, so just middle school. She got a PR in her district track meet. Her team won the district championship. So it's hilarious to me because when we were talking about it, they came to me because they wanted she wanted to get faster, specifically for the mile and track and stuff. And, they were like, oh, we'll do cross country. And so as we were getting ready for the cross country season, we're not really worried about whatever. We don't want to change the mileage up. We want to just keep whatever. She's going to do the 10K and the half marathon. So, we want to do this. And then, their team has never really, they've got the pre-district and then they, you have to be so fast to qualify for district as a team. So they may not even, they're probably not even going to do that. They didn't do it last year. Yeah. And I was like, well, she's been training. Let's go try it. And they're like, yeah, we're not stressing it. After the second week, they were like, their mind completely changed and shifted, because she went from I think she would last year, she's maybe, I think the best she ever finished was top 5 or something like that.
Okay.
And she podiumed every race, either first or second.
Wow.
That's pretty good, right?
Yep.
And I think in the meet last year, her best time was 14 something it's a 2-mile race. So it was 14 minutes and something or whatever. And she ended up getting second place at the district, and she ran a 12:11. So we talk about taking 2 or 3 minutes off of a marathon. You take 2 minutes off or 2.5 minutes off on a 2-mile race. That's a big deal. So that was really cool to see. And her team won the district championship. So that's a pretty big deal too. So Katya went out, and she has been she's been coming to the gym now for a little over a year, I think. And I kind of joked around with her. I was like, you've been kind of flirting, asking me questions, telling me you're going to let me coach you. Like, it's just like this will they, won't they kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I've been very patient with her and just encouraging, no pressure. And so a few months ago, she's like, I'm ready. I'm going to hire you, James. I was like, okay, let's go. So we've been talking. And like most people, this is so slow, James. When are we going to do speed work, James? You know, it's like, whatever.
I came to get fast, not run slow.
Right. And, you know, she's a researcher, and she's in the medical field too. So she knows some things. And it's just funny talking to her. And she's like, she ran a 5K, and she got a PR. And she got her very first podium ever.
Katya.
Right?
Wow.
And so she was messaging me all day on Saturday about it and everything else. She's like, I believe you, James. I believe you. It's like, hey, whatever it takes, man. I love it. Let's go. So, and then Vienna, she raced as well, got a PR, ran a half marathon. Joe went out to California,
He
right?
did his very first 21K. Was that what it was?
Was it his first one?
He said it was his first.
Maybe it was his first 21K trail race.
Yes, I think that's what it was.
Because he did a trail race with elevation.
UTMB Ultrathon or whatever it's called. Yeah.
So I think he that was like 8,000 feet of elevation change or something like that.
Was it in California?
I thought that's what he told me.
I think I saw pictures. I don't know.
He said it was gorgeous. I haven't seen all the photos yet, but he said it was really pretty.
I thought it was in California. So I mean, I could be wrong.
I assumed Utah when I saw the UT, but
Oh, maybe it was.
I don't know.
Maybe it was.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Out west is all I thought.
Pretty sure it's California, but I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time, and it won't be the last, people. So we had set. Was there somebody I'm missing? Please make sure I'm not missing.
I was going to say, now I got to double check because I feel like we might be.
I did. I actually had a client, Gabrielle, run. Was it the Toronto High Rocks?
Oh, okay.
And she got like a 3-minute PR. Or her goal actually, it was her first doubles. Her goal was to get sub 130, and they got 128.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was with a partner she'd first time meeting.
I saw that in her video.
Yeah, that was
they literally just met when they got there.
Well, then, and actually, it was kind of cool. It was High Rocks actually reached out to her and they filmed her.
Yeah, they did a highlight on them. It
They
was
did a
really
whole
good
highlight.
That's
and
cool.
I was like, you could have mentioned your coach.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Drop a dime,
yeah,
brother.
Could have made it all about your coach.
Yeah,
but
no,
but
that's
it
just
was
selfish.
Yeah,
Just
that's
selfish.
all
How
right.
soon they forget.
Yeah, how
when they get
soon?
famous.
Yes, it was
Yep.
not once. Thank you,
So-
Coach Carlos, waving the heart. No, but
No,
it's all right.
not even a little bit.
No.
So we also, I do remember we had Christine.
I was just going to say
She
that's what I
raced
forgot.
the half marathon, and what's funny is Christine has actually been training for High Rocks. We convinced her to do a High Rock. She's up in Minnesota, and her partner, her friend, her training partner, who is preparing for High Rocks, we were able to convince them to do doubles together.
Oh.
So she's a marathoner, half marathoner that's super fast. She's gotten. I started coaching her, I think, back in like January, February, and she's got a half marathon PR. She got a marathon PR, and then she just raced a half marathon this weekend and got another half marathon PR. And in the last 3 months, she has just started doing High Rocks training because she's going to be racing High Rocks Dallas. So really cool to see her go out there and still be fast while she's also like dying inside, pushing sleds and doing wall balls and lifting weights and stuff. Like that, all that stuff that's completely out of her wheelhouse that she doesn't like feel completely comfortable with. And she's been doing an amazing job. So it's been really cool to see. So the race season started, and already people are doing amazing, right? So next weekend is the Coach Carlos birthday race extravaganza. I don't know why they call it the UT Houston half. It should just be the Carlos birthday half.
I've reached out to them waiting for some feedback.
Yeah,
back.
they haven't gotten
Not yet. I was like, if you guys want to change this to your banner, feel free.
Yeah.
I gave them a few pictures I'd like them to use, but I have not heard back
Haven't
yet.
heard back
So,
yet.
yeah, I'm waiting for the email. I'm sure
Maybe
it's
I should
coming
want me to reach out to them.
Yeah, if you don't,
Maybe if my star power.
it did work with the the venue thing, the event we're doing. So yes, reach out to him.
Okay.
You know how to talk to the
I'll see what
higher
I can
ups.
do.
Yeah,
I'll talk to them.
work your magic.
Yeah. I'll see what I can do. So, but there's several people ran in that, huh?
I think it's a pretty big group now.
I think it's everyone.
Yeah.
It's just
Feels that way.
It's
We
not
just
like
clarify
a
it as
group.
everyone.
Everybody.
Yes.
So that'll be cool. That'll be fun. So be a good day for the team.
Are
And
you doing it, Coach?
I am.
Nice.
I'm doing the 10K, not the half marathon.
Oh, okay.
People are like, "Oh, why are you just doing the 10K, Coach? Why not the half?" It's like I got stuff to do, guys.
Yeah.
Half marathon ain't in my plan right now because apparently Jessica thinks we got to be fast for this High Rocks in Dallas, and I don't want to let her down.
No.
you know?
Oh yeah.
She has very high expectations.
Yes.
She's a stern taskmaster.
Type A.
I mean, she's gotten a taste of what championships. She was so close
Better run.
with Tommy. Remember?
Oh, you mean qualifying for
Yeah,
championships?
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, I know it's there.
Well, I mean,
Do it.
for about 20 minutes, they were qualified. They were on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was taken from her.
Yeah. Did you see actually this year? One of the rule changes is whatever. If you qualify as a team, the team has to go. So,
Yeah,
like, if you
I
and I
did
qualify,
not see that.
you and I have to go.
You have.
There's
that
no
means you,
subbing people out this year.
Oh, it isn't. I saw that for
What's the purpose of that change? You think?
I saw that for the Elite 15, but that's for all of them. Oh,
That's what I
okay.
saw. I mean, maybe I misread it, but I think that's what it said. That whoever you qualify with is who you have to race with. So I get they're just trying to keep probably the playing field fair, right?
Sure.
So because maybe you try to weasel in someone faster or something. I don't know. So I mean, it does kind of make sense, But then like,
What happens if your partner can't go?
Right, what
and
happens-
that's a big deal. To
what
like
happens
say,
if
well,
your
you
your
can't
partner's
go.
injured or they can't go or like I mean, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to go. Right?
Yeah.
A couple years ago when
Yeah,
we
it's
went.
true.
Yeah.
Because Tommy wasn't able to go, so I needed somebody to sub. So that would have sucked.
Yeah. No, that would.
That would have sucked big time.
You qualify, just whatever circumstances. Like I said, that does seem kind of. I mean, it takes a lot of factors. Should one person, be penalized if someone gets hurt?
Yeah.
That-
Or if life happens, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Life
life
happens,
happens.
people.
Yeah, like let's say they do it in like Sweden,
And where it's also which is really
and you're
expensive to
from
get
Houston,
to.
Texas, and you're like, I can't afford to do that, and the other partner's like, well, I'm going.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you better pay for him to get there then, or you're not going to get to go too. So that would kind of suck. So
Yeah, I'm curious as to why they would make that rule change. I actually hadn't heard about that until you just mentioned it. So
yeah,
I
it
think
was
that
talking
could
about
upset
like how you
people.
can qualify, and it was going down the list of all the qualifications, and like, of course, they're leaving it open ended, right?
Sure.
It's like different venues based on how many participants will tell you how many people,
Yeah.
how many spots there are, right? So, but
I mean, maybe it won't, but I feel like I could see that creating a lot of issues and a lot of like negative feedback because I feel like you'll have that exact scenario if someone's like, well, my partner got injured, they can't now, or like they, something happened in the family and they like can't do it, so we're both out. I feel like
Okay.
you're going to see a lot of,
I'm putting this out there.
maybe not.
I'm looking for a mixed doubles partner. I'm looking for a sugar mama. She gotta be fast.
Gotta be-
She got
gotta
some
have that money.
Yep, that's throwing it out there. We're
looking
going.
for a fast sugar mama.
So just let me know. Hit me up.
I was
Just
gonna
just for
say-
racing purposes only.
This
This is
is-
so.
I would say this is definitely going to have to make people be very, very particular about who they race with if they have desire to actually try to qualify for championships, because you need to make sure you pick a partner then who is all in if you do qualify.
Well, I would assume that like if you're trying to qualify, the person you're racing with, you've already kind of tried to do your best to get the best possible
Sure.
like partnership, right? To
Sure.
help you do the best overall. So like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people have like a unlimited pool of partnerships, but like if your partner can't go, you're probably not getting a partner as good or as fast,
You would
right?
think.
You're probably like you're just trying to get somebody that's close. That's the
Yeah.
best you can, right?
Yeah.
So, I highly doubt people are like you're going to get someone who was the two of y'all together were say an hour and 5 minutes or an hour and 3 minutes, and now all of a sudden you found someone that put you at 57 minutes. Like I just don't see that. I just don't see that scenario happening very much. I mean, I don't know.
It'd be very tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be very rare. I feel like.
Yes.
Especially when you're talking about mixed doubles. So like and I know this is probably, please forgive me if it sounds bad, but like I just feel like a lot of the best mixed doubles teams aren't like doing equal load, and so it's like these really fast, strong guys are finding ladies that are really fast that can keep up,
Sure.
but they're doing the majority of the work.
Because they're wanting to make sure that, because I would assume it's because they think, well, I'm bigger in mass. I can handle this weight easier
because
than
it's
my
the
partner.
open, not the pro weight.
Yes. And so she needs to be able, I need her to be able to do these runs.
Yes.
And so, I mean, that makes sense though.
It does.
Strategy.
That's just strategy. I don't
It's a
think
good
there's
strategy.
Yeah, that's
Right.
absolutely
So,
strategy.
But with that being said, if you have a partnership where like the female is not only fast but is also capable of running that pace and doing a good chunk of the load, well, that's going to be a really good team. And finding another female, if let's say the female can't go, that's going to meet up to that.
That's hard.
That's not going to be easy to do.
Yeah, that's few and far
Yeah.
between.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like that's going to be an easy replacement.
No, that's just fact. That's not offensive. That's just fact.
And then vice versa, right?
Yeah.
If the guy can't go, like finding another dude that can
Meet up to that standard.
meet that standard and also carry that load of weight, that's not like easy to do, I wouldn't think.
Do you think you think it would be harder to replace a male or a female in that kind of partnership?
Honestly,
Yeah,
female.
I agree. I think I was going to say guy, but again, I think because of like just mass and all that in general, I think it's harder to find a female that's up to that standard.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Looking to take your running to the next level? Whether you're just getting started or chasing the next PR, my dad, Coach James, and BC Fitness have you covered. Join our in-person or online run coaching. Plug into our free weekly run club and train alongside a community that's built different. From High Rocks and OCR to daily group fitness classes at our Houston gym. This is where athletes are made. Come run with us, train with us, grow with us. Visit mybcfit.com and start building your best.
Well, I'm not even worried about necessarily the pushing the stuff because there's a lot of strong ladies out there. It's the speed.
Yeah.
It's the pace, right? And it's not that ladies can't run that pace, but it's hard to find a lady that can run that fast
And
be able
strong.
to be that strong,
Yeah.
right? Because ladies just tend to be smaller in mass in general. So that would be the biggest challenge, I would think, is, and the good thing is, I think the hardest part is running fast. So if you have somebody who's fast, then getting them stronger to handle the weight is much more manageable than having someone who's already strong and help them get fast. Like one can be faster than the other. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely, because that is like the strategy you just talked about. It is, running mixed doubles. It is just getting enough break for you, for them to just catch your breath and hit that same pace again. Can they handle that load? And if they need to be fast. If they're strong and they're not as fast, and it's kind of you're going to be. If the guy is able to run faster than the girl, kind of deal, and it's not pushing, if she's not able to keep the pace, it's going to be the overall slower time,
Right.
Or vice versa. However,
You can only go as fast as the slowest runner.
in any doubles race.
Yeah.
So any doubles race, you're only as fast as your slowest person. So you could be as strong as you could be, but if you can't keep the paces, it's like you said, you got to throw egos out and think about finding that right formula of, like I said, if you were doing mixed doubles, you not being so gassed and giving her so much break, where if she's going faster than you now, then it's going to be okay. You've messed up that little formula of workload,
Right.
kind of deal. So it's finding that right or enough. You can push enough, and she can just give you just enough break. Then when you go hit the runs, that you both can be out there hitting the paces,
Right.
your target.
And if you want to be competitive in any like category now, you got to be fast. You got to be fast,
Oh, you
and you
gotta
have to
be
be
fast,
strong. Like
yeah.
you can't be like. I think gone are the days, except for like places like some of these smaller ones, like India or Mexico or whatever. If you're-
Mumbai 119.
Yeah, if
Well, I'm sorry. What was it?
It was 119 for men's pro doubles was the winning time.
119?
Yeah,
I should have gone to Mumbai.
that's what I'm saying. We would have like destroyed. But those are new places. They're smaller venues, right? But like for some of these ones that are established now, like you got to be fast.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
really
event.
do.
You're not gonna get to skate in, right? You're not skating by.
119 will be lucky if they get you in the top 30%.
30%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
100%.
that's
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be in the top 10, you're gonna have to be like, let's say, dude, men's doubles world record just got broken for age 40 to 44. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
Was that the 50
Yes.
minutes?
It was 52 minutes.
Oh, I thought it was 50 minutes. It's
That's-
52?
that
Okay.
pro?
That's fast.
Yeah. 52 freaking.
Was that Alexander guy?
No, it was 40 to 44. It was age group.
Oh, that was, okay,
age
age
group
group.
world record.
Got it.
So, That's
smoking.
That's
fast.
fast.
That is fast, right?
So fast.
So, and I want to say last year the World Championships for the 40 to 44 age group in the mixed doubles, they ran like a 57 or something like that, 56, 57. So that means a guy and a lady together ran.
So fast.
That is freaking, that's
so
fast.
fast.
That's really fast. So
Did you tell Jessica that's the goal?
I did.
All right,
I
Jessica,
did.
56.
And she's like, oh, we'll run 54. I'm like, whoa. Whoa. She's like, if he dies, he dies.
yeah.
You know, she's not worried about that.
There's a lady dragging a corpse across.
That's it.
Hey, you just got to keep that distance closed.
That's my coach.
Yeah. So we've been over the last few weeks, we've been talking about kind of getting back to the basics. Last week we talked about nutrition. We got into it. I had several people say, Coach, I had my nutrition today. I ate before I ran today. I was like, okay, you guys are listening to the podcast. I love it.
Scared straight.
Yeah, whatever it takes, right? So, today we're going to get into strength training for runners. So I think it's kind of apropos that we're talking about like the importance of not just being fast, but also being strong and being able to, keep the strength level, the endurance of the strength up while you're also running fast. And I think for a lot of runners, strength training is kind of like a secondary thing. It's like usually something they do when they're injured or after they get injured. It's like a once and ever, maybe they go take a class every now and again. I think it's getting better, definitely, but I think strength training is always like, if you're going to be a good runner, you got to run. And that's kind of the extent of it.
Yeah.
Maybe the old thinking is like more for looks. It's just for you're not really realizing the importance it has for performance. Oh, just going in and do some curls or something. It's not really realizing how much it can benefit you. You're running.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it is, the question is like the big question is probably like, do runners really need to do strength training? Is it really beneficial? I've told the story before. I've had people talk about like, I look like if I wasn't so bulky or if I didn't have so much muscle, I could be so much faster, And Jessica, there was someone who's basically said something to Jessica about like her not being able to, she's probably not going to be able to be as fast because
She told me about that.
put on like more muscle or
And-
something. I forgot how they put it.
Yeah.
And they're a runner. They at one point in time, they were a really, really good runner. So, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, she's got nothing but faster.
Yeah, she's so fast.
She's gotten like faster
She's
and
so
faster
fast.
and faster and faster.
Her quads are so defined now.
And like, she's put on like, she hasn't just put on like muscle. She's put on like functional muscle, muscle that's helped
where it
her,
matters.
like really like improve.
Lean
So-
muscle mass.
Yeah.
Like her
Yeah.
lean- yeah, she just
But it's what it is. It's muscle that's helped her running economy is what it comes down to, right? It's helped her running form, and which basically turns around means that her body doesn't have to use as much energy to create this amount of force, and that's really what muscle does, right? It's an ability to generate a certain level of or amount of force to lift weight, to jump, to run, or what have you. And so, the more muscle you have, or the more strength you have, rather, you should be able to, like,
more output force.
right, put
Yeah.
that into some sort of functional activity. And so since we're runners and we train for running and we do strength training that is very running specific a lot of the times, well, it would just make sense that you would improve as a runner, right? But then on the flip side of it, she hasn't been injured. Yeah, she mentioned that the other day. She's like, I haven't been injured, period. So a lot of that comes from
Strength training.
strength training, right? You're developing and working on those imbalances you may have. And 99.9% of runners have an imbalance. That's why they're injured all the time. Mm-hmm. Their knees bother them because their glutes are weak, or they're overstriding because they're not actually utilizing the glutes because they're not landing under their center of mass, or they
Hip flexor is one I hear a lot on.
say again.
I've had that one, hip flexor.
Yep.
Hips.
Yeah, and it's just, you're seated all the time. It's a very repetitive motion, so you're using that muscle all the time. Plus, more than likely, you're doing a lot of pushing, so your quads are probably doing most of the work, and your hamstrings aren't really taking a lot of that load. So those hamstrings or those quads get super tight. And they pull on the hamstrings, so the hip flexors, and so the hip flexors tend to seem like they're always tight all the time. And so, strength training will help to limit that and help relieve a lot of that, while also creating the ability to run faster and with more efficiency.
Win-win.
Facts.
Wow, that was amazing.
We told it.
You guys just brought insight at another level.
That's what we're here
what we
for.
do.
We're just bringing in. That is a win-win. So
What I like is the way you said facts. I said she's just like, yeah.
Preach.
Yes, that's what I was.
Preach.
That's all I
Preach,
needed.
brother.
Say it again for the people in the back.
There you go. There it is. Right. So
So we would say that strength training is actually a plus. Runners should do strength training. Here's the takeaway.
why? Yes.
Yes.
Facts.
Facts.
Facts. So we're not talking specific. We're not talking. I think a lot of times people, runners specifically, whether you're male or female, they think they coincide lifting weights with bodybuilding.
Yes, I would agree.
And so every time they see somebody that's lifting weights, it's like, oh, they're all huge and bulky and
Yeah.
whatever. And I don't want to get huge. And actually, speaking of Jessica, she said she went to I think it was her sister's wedding or something, and her mom saw her and she had like a sleeveless shirt on, and she said something about, she's like, oh my God, Jessica, your arms. And
Like in a good thing? Like a good way?
I don't think
would hope.
I don't think she took it that way.
Oh.
And it's a mom, so you know how moms are.
Yes, I
Moms
do.
try to keep you down, right? Keep you humble on a regular basis. And I told her, you know what you should have said? You should have said, you should see my legs.
That would have been a great response.
That would have been such an amazing response, right? So, but like that's always the concept is like if you lift weights, you're going to get like huge and bulked up, and that's not actually true.
I'm thinking like the old WWE wrestler China.
Yes.
I think that's how they're going to turn out looking. That's just,
Huge neck,
yes. Traps.
20-inch pythons, yeah, just thighs, just
Big-
quadzillas.
Doing those 10-pound dumbbells. It's gonna
Yeah.
just next day.
Just jacked and stacked with 10-pound dumbbells, the 8s because we're doing higher reps. So, but when we're talking about doing like strength training for runners, think more like movement quality. Think like mobility, range of motion. The goal isn't necessarily always going to be max weight, but it's rather like building functional strength that translates for the run. Okay. Now, obviously, if we're talking about just a traditional runner doing like the marathon, half marathon, that's going to be different than someone doing like high rocks.
Yeah.
Or even doing shorter events like 5Ks, 10Ks. So
Well-
strength will be more important.
I was going to say, so I actually talked to a girl who did like track and field in college. And when she was talking to me about what their training was, she goes, we did a lot of strength training because it's very short it's very short bursts of movement. But we didn't like train long distance. She goes, I never ran like over, I think 2 miles.
What was she running?
She did like, I think the 100-meter.
Okay.
Yeah. She did like the short stuff.
Yeah.
But she was fast.
Yeah.
Like she was crazy fast. But she said that we did a lot of strength work.
Yeah, no, for sure, because that translates into power, right? And power is going to be important. So, there's some things you might want to focus on specifically as a runner: posterior chain, so like your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves as well. And so those are going to help with injury prevention because remember, imbalances, the two biggest leads to injury are overuse or imbalances. If you're running, you're doing repetitive motion, you're probably going to overuse some muscles.
Yeah.
And if you're not being aware of it or you're not being deliberate with it, more than likely you're gonna have like muscle groups that are stronger than others. And so if you're constantly repeating using the same strong muscles over and over again, then you're probably gonna get injured. And so if you focus on things like your glutes, which are not being used usually as effectively, your hamstrings, which are usually not being used as effectively unless you're focusing on your form, your calves as well, then you're setting yourself up for a long-term injury.
I think especially, talking about unilateral work. Just doing one leg, one arm, or basically one leg stuff at a time. That really helps with those imbalances.
No, for sure.
So, Bulgarian split squats, I think those are great. Like, especially if you engage in the glutes.
Yeah.
I think that's a...
So deadlifts,
Yeah.
split squats, Bulgarian split squats. What else? Thrusters, bridges.
I think anything... I think big point, hamstrings.
Yeah.
If anyone does any sort of high rocks training, you are most of the time you're overdeveloped or using your quads a lot.
A lot, yeah.
I mean, the workout today, my quads felt like they were going to explode. So it's just trying to, your quads will get so developed that if you overdevelop them, you won't be able to generate the same force with your hamstrings.
Right.
That's where you can get.
And you'll
injured.
overpower them.
Yeah.
And lead to an injury.
Yeah.
You'll pull a hamstring or something like that, right? So I don't think a lot of people realize that your muscles work in tandem, but they also work against each other. So like you have what's called like antagonist muscle groups. So like your quad is an antagonist muscle group to your hamstring. So whereas your quad, when you straighten your leg out, that is literally flexing your quad. Well, if you're flexing your quad, well, that means you're extending the hamstring. So you're putting that hamstring on stretch. Well, when I bring my heel toward my butt, well, now I'm putting my hamstring on flex and I'm extending my quad. And so they're doing opposite motions. So they're working together. But if one is stronger than the other, it could overpower and it could create or lead to some sort of injury.
Tear or something.
A tear, yeah. Or strain. Or tightness. You may feel super tight. You may have tight hamstrings may just mean you have weak hamstrings or weaker hamstrings, right? An imbalance. And so, really focusing on the pulling motions, the pulling movements or the pulling muscles will really help in preventing injury, but also ultimately making you faster, right? So if your calves are stronger, and your Achilles has more tensile strength, well, that generates more power off your push when you're pushing off your foot, which means you should be able to go faster.
Yeah.
Right? So if you can generate more force, that translates into more speed. And then once you build that aerobic capacity, right, then you have that endurance to be coupled with it. And so the strength training, I think, is much like your muscle groups. It is working in tandem with the aerobic capacity that you're developing so that you can really benefit more and more and more.
How do you... when you're doing a workout for runners, I tend to go more total body. Do you break it into movements, or do you like going, traditional, like, back in the day, bodybuilding was like chest and
tries, yeah.
And more lately now it's been like a pull day, a push day kind of deal. Do you factor that in, or do you kind of just look at the...
Well, for me, I always say each day should have a particular focus. Okay, and so I break the focus down based off on the effort. So, is this an aerobic effort? Is this a recovery effort? Is this a strength effort? What are the things that I'm specifically working on throughout this training block? So if this training block, my goal is to create, aerobic endurance, and so I'm trying to build my aerobic volume, and I'm trying to build some like explosive speed or strength. Well, then that means for me, I'm going to have a long run. I'm going to have to probably have a speed day somewhere in there. And, I need to have a particular number of volume that I'm trying to attain. And so, there are certain days that are probably going to be harder when I run. So like my long day, I'm probably not lifting on my long day.
Yeah.
Right. Or I'm not going to assign a lift on my long day because that's a long run. Speed day, more than likely, sometimes, but more than likely, probably not going to put a speed day on that. I mean, a strength effort on that. So, let's say, this person is trying to do exactly what I said to do. Well, maybe on Monday I would give them some kind of strength effort, probably focusing on their core, maybe more upper body specific. That is, strengthen their core, shoulders, chest. So like more total body, but very core specific.
Okay.
Right. And then maybe on Tuesday, because traditionally Tuesdays is like a speed day for a lot of people, I would have them do their speed work, right? So Monday may not be super intense, but it'll be strength based. So maybe more strength endurance, strength like higher repetitions, maybe medium to lower weight. And then Tuesday would be okay, whatever that hard speed effort is.
Okay.
So I might flip it, and on Wednesday maybe like recovery work. So we might do like more mobility movements. So they're strength based, but we're doing things that are less weight, more mobile.
Okay.
So we might bike a little bit before we do it, and then we might do some sort of runner's recovery thing where maybe we do some Bulgarian split squats and we do a bunch of drills, and maybe we do some specific runners, some bridges, and calf raises and stuff like that, where it's not super intense. It's more meant to get blood flowing. So you may not even use weight. You may just use bands, so that you're not beating yourself up. Because maybe on Thursday, what I would probably have them do is do something more strenuous, right?
Okay.
So maybe on Thursday, okay, now we're going to really work on that strength. So I'm going to have you lifting a little bit heavier, lower reps, very specific to like that posterior chain. So like deadlifts and, squats or, sumo squats or, like the Bulgarian split squats you were talking about or what have you. So very specific strength building. And more than likely, we would probably try to address some kind of weakness we've seen.
Okay.
Right. So we'd probably target a specific thing that we've seen that say, hey, we need to work on this. And then Friday might just be a regular run day, nothing else, just like super chill. And then Saturday usually would be the longest run. And then Sunday, depending on where their volume is, Sunday could be an off day. It could be like a you choose aerobic effort where you could ride the bike or swim, or maybe depending on where they're at, maybe we do a little more strength training, right? Maybe we do, something that's a little more akin to like what we did on Wednesday, where it's like more mobility based, maybe some stretching and recovery, very active movements.
Now, one thing also that I learned, from you was not all these strength efforts have to be hour and a half long.
Right. They don't have to be hard.
You kind of, we talked about, building the schedule for High Rocks. You're doing all sorts of different running, lifting, or hard sessions. And I was kind of, talking to you about, okay, well, lifting, but I'm tired on this day. And I was trying to you're asking what my workouts were. And some of them were like an hour, hour 15. I was doing this. And you were kind of, tell you what, why don't you break it down into like smaller efforts, like do, on this day here, just do like a 20, 25 minute, like a runner's workout, just focus on just one or two exercises, towards your goal versus, trying to do a complete total body day that takes, 90 minutes and you're trying to get everything in there. And now I'm beat up going into my speed day.
Right.
So it's just, and it has helped a lot. I keep to like 3 or 4 basic movements, pull-ups, some Bulgarian split squats, maybe some lighter, like sumo deadlifts, and that's the workout.
Yeah.
Just 3 exercises, quick and easy, boom, I'm done.
I think the targeted stuff is like the most beneficial. So if we're creating a training plan for running, we're going to address whatever flaws we see or whatever weaknesses we have, right? Whether it's volume or speed work or drills or what have you. So like with strength training, I think you take the same approach to it. But you're a runner, right? If you're training to run, the majority of your training should be running. And so you are adding in the strength training to supplement, some of the lack you might have that running just won't give you, that will make you a better runner, limit injury, that kind of thing. And so, if you think about it, honestly, the biggest challenge with runners in general, like teaching them to like slow down and do more aerobic style running, is that they feel like it's a waste of time. They're not benefiting from it because it's too easy, right? But usually the biggest problem with most runners when they go out and run and they don't slow down is every time they get done with the run, they feel like crap. So either they don't like running because it always makes them feel like trash, or they end up getting hurt because they're pushing themselves too hard too often, right? Well, the same thing I've learned, right, applies to training, lifting weights, right, strength training. So every session doesn't have to be, you don't have to be sore for 2 days after.
No, that does not.
For it to benefit you. Yes, you want to develop, at times you want to go into muscle hypertrophy, but not every workout needs to be that, So if that's the case, if I'm lifting, let's say I can curl 20-pound dumbbells, okay? And let's say I don't curl any 20-pound dumbbells for 6 weeks, okay? Now, let's say after that, I come in here and I curl 20-pound dumbbells for 6 weeks. Do you think I'm going to be stronger and develop more muscle from not curling dumbbells for 6 weeks or from lifting dumbbells for 6 weeks?
Obviously lifting.
Right. So whether my biceps fell off because they were so sore, right, and I couldn't bend my arm or straighten my arm out, that doesn't negate the fact that I'm still developing strength. And then if I follow the rule of progression that we talk about all the time, well, this week I might do 20-pound dumbbells and 12 reps. Next week I might do 20-pound dumbbells and 15 reps. Then the next week I might do 20-pound dumbbells and 20 reps. Or I might go back down to 12 and do 25-pound dumbbells. So somehow I'm doing some sort of progression. Well, if you're progressing, you're getting stronger.
Yeah.
You're getting faster. And so if you're using that law of the 10% rule or what have you with it, then you're going to get stronger. Now, the challenge is just like if you don't feel like you're dead after a workout and your muscles aren't hurting and like just really super sore, the challenge is, was it even worth my time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've talked about all the time, consistency always beats intensity because intensity can't be consistent.
So I actually have some questions that were sent in to us for this topic, if I may.
Yeah.
Okay, so shout out to @Larry Stride, who sent in how many days per week should an athlete be strength training based on the goal race, like a 5K versus a marathon or a High Rocks? Because 3 different efforts.
Yeah. So I would say it's less about the race. Now, yes, you probably do more strength training if you're doing High Rocks versus a marathon, okay? But I think it has it's like kind of a loaded question because I think it has to do with the person, their fitness level, their volume, what they've been doing. Because let's say you're training for a high rocks, but you've just started training. Well, if you haven't been running, well, you still need to focus on being a better runner. So I might prescribe you running maybe 5 days a week, but I might only have you strength training 2 times a week, because you got to make sure that you can sustain all the volume of training instead of just saying, okay, I need you running 7 days a week. And you need to do strength training 4 days a week, you know? So I think that really is very individual specific. But let's say you're a marathoner and you've been running marathons for years and you want to get into some strength training. Well, your body has already adapted to running 6-7 days a week.
Yep.
So you running is not going to be your body's adapted. It's
You're
ready.
there. Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to add in some strength training, I would probably tell them, let's do 1 to 2 times a week. Maybe one day is a little heavier. Maybe one day is more like movement or mobility, like specific. But both of them would always be specific to like being a better runner. And so, but then I would, like, when we put those in based on your speed work or your long run would be kind of important too. And then maybe after a couple training blocks, so after maybe 6 to 8 weeks, maybe we add another day.
Yeah.
So it might go up to 3 days a week. That also means that some of the workouts that you add in could be a little bit different. So, if you're like, say, a 5K person and maybe you haven't been running a 5K ever, and this is your first 5K, but you understand that you probably should be doing some strength training so you could be better at it. Well, maybe you're only running 3 days a week. Well, I might have you do a couple days of strength training in the same vein. So it would all go back to the law of progression. Where are you at now? What are you doing now? And then I would say, okay, after a certain amount of time, once your body's adapted, which usually takes about 4 to 6 weeks, we'd have to progress somehow and either add another day, add some more intensity, or add more weight or more volume so that you can continue to progress so you can keep moving forward.
No, kind of what you said on prescribing the workouts and progression. We always joke about, we can prescribe a workout that'll, knock you on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
That's easy.
That's
but
easy.
Given the right workout for adding a little bit of stimulus over time and then growing, that's the kind of, the secret recipe, trying to figure that out. I think you say it all the time. We can always add intensity.
Yeah.
But if you do too much too soon, then you're injured and then you can't take it back.
Perfect example, right? I created this workout for you to do, right? For me to do. And usually I don't assign workouts until I've done them several times. So I get a flow for them, a feel for them, and make sure that, the reps or the time or whatever it is are actually meeting whatever the goal is, right? Well, I was going to do it with you, so I hadn't done it yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had set the workout up. Did I say that right? Set the workout up? Okay. And we got into it. We started doing it. We got through the first round, and I was like, we need to change this.
Yeah.
Right? Because this distance is too long on the bike.
It's becoming
It's becoming more threshold, and we wanted it to be more anaerobic.
Yeah.
So we wanted really short, high intensity. But with the length that we were riding the bike on, it was turning it into a threshold effort. So instead of the rounds being like 6 or 7 minutes, the rounds were like 12 or 13 minutes.
It was almost becoming like we push the exercise and almost use the bike as a recovery instead
right?
of
so we were maintaining a
pushing.
threshold effort.
Yeah.
Instead of, okay, we need to be able to push on the whole thing. But it just would have been like physically impossible to hold that intensity level for that amount of time. And so in the middle of the workout, what do we do?
Swapped it.
I said, all right, let's change it. Let's drop it down to 500 meters, and let's pick up the pace, right? On the bike and on the workouts. So it feels completely different. Your heart rate does different things. The purpose of the workout changed, correct?
Yeah.
And so, but we weren't like so locked into we have to do it like this for it to hurt, or to it's got to be an hour-long workout or something like that we couldn't adapt it and change it.
No, it was definitely it changed the flow completely. Dropping that time, I was like, okay, let's push the efforts. He was able to push the bike versus just kind of recovering, and then definitely dropped it down to it's about 6 minutes, 7 minutes
6.5
around.
minutes,
That you can push that effort.
Right.
You can really lock in. It's like, okay, this hurts, but I can manage this 6 minutes. I think if you get into like where we're 8 or 9 minutes, that maybe be a little tougher as in the first time doing this workout.
No, for sure. Right. I think it actually took us 12 minutes with the original one.
Oh yeah, that's
right. So because you were like biking like 9,000 meters instead of 4,500 meters, so that took a little bit more time. So, it's you don't do it on purpose, but like you're also taking a little bit longer between as you make your way over from the bike to whatever the workout is. Because you're trying to get your heart rate down, or you're like your quads are full of blood, and that's kind of like completely negates what we're trying to do, right? So, like I think being purposeful, and I think. From week to week, as we talk about training, like that's one of the things I think I get across, or I say a lot, is just being very purposeful and deliberate and creating some sort of plan. And if the plan, like if you get into it and it's not really working, don't be afraid to adjust the plan, but also understand like if I'm going in here to do a strength training session, what is the purpose of this strength training session? And most people don't have a purpose. They're just like, oh, I'm going to lift weights. Yes. Going and lifting some weights, right? And so there's no progression. There's no switching it up. They're doing back and buys today, and 6 months from now, when they're on Tuesdays, guess what they're doing?
Same workout,
back and buys, and they're probably lifting the same amount of weight. They're probably not really progressing all that much. So, I think that is kind of the thing that you have to think about when you are adding strength training in. Obviously, something's better than nothing. I always say that, right? You're always going to be better off doing something rather than nothing. But it doesn't have to be soul-crushing.
No.
And it doesn't have to last an hour.
Most of our Thursday workouts, usually they're right about 30 minutes.
The workout
not including the wall ball. Not including our little wall ball finisher we'll do, but usually the workout itself is right about 30 minutes if you're doing it right. Pushing pretty much the last few blocks we've done been right about 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah. When we take longer because we fart around and
we take a nice
take
long
forever
warm
to
up.
set up.
Oh, well, no, not including the setup.
Yeah, not including all that extra bull crap.
We sit there and look at it. And
we contemplate whether we're really going to do it or not.
Yeah, it's kind of
somebody's feeling sick or something, so we can't do it today. So, but I mean, once we start the clock, 36 minutes, maybe 40 minutes tops, like maybe on peak week or something.
Yeah.
But once we start, we usually are not like farting around in between. Right?
No, it's that anticipation, that little anxiety before because this is going to hurt.
Right. So, but we only do that on Thursday.
Yeah.
Or one day a week. The rest of the days, like I do a strength training effort usually on Mondays. Very chill, very low key. Like I may lift every week. I might adjust the weight that I'm lifting just to get the progression. But other than that, like. I'm not sore from that workout on Tuesday because I know Tuesday is going to be pretty tough because I'm doing like speed work usually. And it's a long day, so I'm usually like riding or running in the morning and then I go do an effort at night. So, Wednesday is more like mobility style for me. Like I do like some strength efforts, but it's more like very specific to running and like Achilles work and hip work and strength like that. And I may use like no weight or just very, very, very light weights. So, throughout the week, every session specifically has a particular goal because we're training, like, I'm not a huge hybrid guy, but we are doing the hybrid style of training. So we're training for multiple types of disciplines. Mm-hmm. And so with the multiple types of disciplines, you only have so much time in a week, so you're trying to spread out these different things. Well, I try to do it more focused on like one thing per block. Right. So this block, all right, I want to work on some strength stuff. Right. Once my body's adapted after 4 to 6 weeks, well, now I can work on something else, but I keep that in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so now since my body's adjusted and it is comfortable with that, well, now I can add something else to work on, and I'm constantly still working on that foundational thing. It's just like our aerobic training. We build volume, and after 4 to 6 weeks, we're adapted to running 20 miles a week or 15 miles a week, whatever it is. So I can keep running that. And I can add something else, and it's not going to overwhelm my system because my body's already adapted to that thing. So it's when you try to add too many things on top of each other at once before your body's had time to adapt to any particular thing is a lot of times when you overwhelm the system, you get injured or too fatigued or plateau or whatever.
Yeah, recently these last few blocks, I've been doing more pull-ups. And for probably 2 blocks, it just kind of slowly increase the reps. 3 sets, maybe start with like 6 or 7, and just increase a couple each block. This last block, I've dropped it back down. I was like, I'm kind of good with my endurance of pull-ups, and I just put on a vest. You know, quick, I don't know, 15-pound vest, and just do some low reps of pull-ups with that. If I'd have probably started with that, my shoulder would probably been jacked, and you know, but I've slowly progressed over months to get into that point.
That's good.
And so, you know, another point where I think people run into problems is they do some of these workouts like it's in a vacuum. Like they don't have another session. Like you said, a speed set. Like if you went and killed yourself on Monday, your Tuesday would be horrible.
Yeah.
As far as if you did a whole, 10 rounds of squats, your legs would be trashed.
And I hear people do stuff like that all the time.
Oh, I was just going to say, I feel like I hear so many of your sessions, and I feel like we talk to so many people who will go do the long run or go do Saturday or a Sunday session, and like, oh, I got to go hit the gym. I got to do weights. I'm like, after this?
Yeah.
We just did a 13-mile run at race pace for half of it. What are you talking about? Like, to go do weights.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I wonder, because we'll do the session and they're like, and I know they're going to say something to me because they're going to be like, oh, you talking about me? Probably. Probably. They're like, oh, yeah, man, I'm struggling today. You know, I did heavy squats today. Like today, the day you're going to do speed work, it's like, if it wasn't for those heavy squats, I'd be hitting this workout. I was like, well, then what were you more concerned about, the heavy squats or the workout? And so I think that's another thing you have to keep in mind when you're developing an actual plan is what's the most important thing, right? So what's your goal today? Is my goal to perform the best in my strength training, or is my goal to perform my best in my run? And so if my run is easy and very chill today, and I know that I'm just worried about maintaining my heart rate for a certain amount of time, okay, well, maybe I'll do my strength training first because I want to make sure I'm fresh for that, because this is going to be maybe I want to do a certain amount of weight or something like that. And then I go do a little easy run afterwards, and that'll actually probably help you recover a little faster because you're getting that blood circulating. But if the goal today is to run, 21K repeats at a 5:30 pace, the morning time is probably not the time to go do heavy squats and heavy deadlifts and try to max out. It's just probably not like going to bode well for those repeats because you're going to have heavy legs, tons of lactate, your legs are going to be tired and sore. And then on Thursday, you're going to wake up and you're not going to be able to get out of bed.
Yes.
Right? So like being deliberate in that, I know I sound like a broken record, but this workout today or the workout I'm doing right now sets me up for the next workout, whether that's tonight, tomorrow, whenever. Every workout is leading to the next workout. So if one workout is more hard, more difficult, then the next workout should probably be a little easier. If this workout's a little easier, then I've kind of set myself up to maybe do something a little bit more challenging, all remembering that we have to keep in the confines if we are going to practice what we preach, which is that 80-20 principle. So if you're doing 80% easy and 20% hard, well, if that applies to every effort,
Which it should.
Yeah.
Right.
then that means the strength training efforts you're doing should probably also be not hard all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're talking to somebody and they do, like you just said, you should prioritize what effort is like, what's the main effort between a strength and a running. If someone is writing out their plan, let's say they don't have a coach to guide them and they're trying to figure out what the prioritization should be, should that depend more on maybe what their upcoming goals are for like a race? So like if someone's training for a High Rocks and let's say it's a marathoner, well, hopefully you already have a good base for the running. So the strength training efforts should be your priority.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're a good runner.
If
There's
you're
plenty of
already a good
marathoners
runner.
out there that are not good runners.
Well, that's if you haven't established, if you already have it established with good mileage and you're a good runner.
Yeah.
But let's say like someone who comes in who's kind of got the strength of it all pretty much set up, then probably the run effort should be more the priority focus when you create your plan.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking specific to High Rocks, whatever your weakness is the thing you need to work on the most.
Yeah.
So if your weakness is running, you need to focus on the running. You don't stop doing strength work, right? But you need to focus on the running. If your strength is the running, well then you need to switch over and start focusing more on strength work. So what I find basically is, you can work on both of them at the same time, obviously, but like most people probably think that to be really good at High Rocks, actually, you know what? I'm going to ask you a question. One of your clients, one of your athletes, okay?
Okay.
I'm thinking of one of your athletes right now. You know who I'm talking about already.
Okay. Yep.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Right?
Let's go.
Okay.
Let me mentally prepare.
Yep.
Do I know who you're talking
Okay,
about?
Let's go.
How many runs on average does this athlete that I'm talking about, how many runs on average do they do a week? And I know they're
Really?
probably
Should
not
be
hitting
6.
every run.
Should
Not
be
what they should be doing, what they're actually doing. I know what the
They
plan
don't always.
probably
They don't
says.
always send them. Actually, they've been decent.
We'll say, I'm talking like, say 6 months.
6. Ooh.
Because we got to put the bad with the good.
Okay, 6 months. 4 to 5
Okay, 4 to 5. How many strength efforts are they doing a week?
that I know about.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is probably
It's like we need the music.
Are you calculating based on like their Instagram posts?
pretty much
'Cause that's what I'm doing in my head.
Like probably 4 to 5.
4 to 5 strength efforts a week?
I think so.
That's it? Because if
I
I'm
figured it'd be
calculating, I'm
more.
thinking 7 minimum.
I figured it'd been more too, to be honest.
You think so?
Just based off the stories.
Don't you probably not the right person because you'll be like give out so much information everybody will know who it is.
No. I'm just basing it off of the IG.
Okay.
That's all I'm basing it off as IG.
We'll say 4 to 5. That's fine.
I'm averaging
We'll say 4 to 5.
Okay.
So 4 runs, 4 to 5 runs, 4 to 5
strength.
strength training efforts.
Yeah.
And with the runs, are they running them easy? Are they like not easy but also not hard? Are
Like
they
mid.
hard? Like what are the runs usually?
Borderline on the easy runs are borderline.
So closer
better.
to like a little too hard.
Yeah, slightly, but getting better. And then probably not pushing the hard stuff.
Hard enough.
Hard enough.
So pushing the easy stuff too easy and not the hard stuff hard
Or
enough.
the easy too hard and the hard stuff not hard enough.
Okay.
Yes.
And then their workouts, when they do their strength stuff, is it very similar? Probably, I bet.
Yes. If it's the same, yes. It's. I think it's trying to hopefully figure out that the same principles we talk about running should be applied to the strength of every. I would say on some of the stuff like is not as focused. I'll say like
Just, hey, what are we doing today?
Like dive
Yes.
in.
We're going to do some cleans.
yes,
We're going to do some deadlifts.
probably so.
Probably not even paying attention to the weight that's on the bars.
Uh,
Like this week it's this, and then next week, I don't remember what I did last week, so
Yes,
seems like
I've
something I
never
could
seen a
lift.
notebook, so it could be correct. So,
Yeah.
yes, a lot of randomness of just, and I think that's what's led to injuries.
okay.
I think that's, not being as your word deliberate.
Okay. Now I'm going to try to do my best not to I'm going to try to package this right, and I know I'm going to fail miserably.
Ooh.
So just understand, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings.
Okay.
Okay. Now take that same person that you're thinking about and that I'm thinking about. We're locked in, right? We know.
Yes.
We know who it is. And let's listen to you talk. You know who I'm talking
We know
about.
who
Yes.
it is.
Okay. So that person I would say is pretty fit.
Yes.
Yes. I would say they're a fit person.
100%.
Okay. I would say that person has a ton of potential.
100%.
A lot of potential. Could be very, 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 very good. In my
That's the
opinion.
frustrating part.
Right. That can be frustrating, right? So, but that person in particular, do you feel like they've gotten like a lot better at their runs and a lot better, like say high rocks? Like have they really improved from like the ones like over the ones they've done? I don't know how many they've done. Maybe a couple, 1 or 2.
Yes.
Like significantly. A little
Well, we'll find out.
because they've only done 1.
Yes.
Okay. So it's kind of like whatever.
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen their paces get faster?
Yes.
Okay.
On some of the speed work that's been done, yes. It's before there was no.
How about races? Because I know they've ran races. So have the races gotten faster? That's the only way you can really tell. So like, let's say they did a 10K and they went out and did the 10K. Did they get a PR on the last 10K they did? Did they get a PR on the last half marathon they did?
They're
It's a simple yes or no. It's a simple yes
yes, but trick the first time they're doing it.
I feel like
or no. Oh, they only did 1.
Yes, so that's yes. So this is
I feel like they've done more than 1.
what 10K?
10K.
Yeah.
No, first one.
5K? Half marathon?
1.
1 of each.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like they've done so many more?
One.
You have the face like you agree
Well,
with
because
me.
I don't. I'm sure. Like you said, I don't want to give anything away, but I've done a 10K with that person.
Okay.
So, but I don't know if they'd conclude that because I don't know if they were going for like a PR. So I don't know if it counts.
Which was it? The gay race?
Yes, the gay race.
That's what it was called.
The pride
Every time
run.
she gets involved, too much
Yeah.
information.
I didn't say that.
I know, but he
So
dragged it out of him. You were there, so were y'all running hard?
Why would you
They-
think? Why would you
Were
think that
y'all
was a
running
PR
hard?
race?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
You
if
guys
that
are
should-
dancing around with paint and stuff.
I
and
don't
you're
know if
gonna
that was considered
that-
a PR.
You were. They were like
You
covered-
guys were dancing around with paint and
But that-
stuff,
and
gaying it up.
That's which is fine, but you can't be like, well, they've done another one. That's really
Yeah.
That's how can you even consider that
Yes,
being
yeah,
a
that's not-
Well,
a
okay,
race?
okay. I wasn't
That was
sure.
a run.
Okay, I mean,
That was a fun, support the community. That's fine, but you can't be like, well, we were all dancing and singing, but wonder if she's going all out. That's not a consider.
Yeah, that's unfair.
okay.
Yeah.
What?
Fair. That's unfair.
I wasn't trying to be unfair, but I wasn't sure if we were just kind of like event, like
No, we're talking specifically about what you're trying
like the
your best.
PRs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so-
Increase.
So technically, they've done 2 according to Lauren. So I stand
But we don't
corrected.
know
But one
because
of-
we
but-
haven't done another race.
Yes,
We'll
correct.
say 1 because we established that 1 was probably not for PR.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we shall find out.
We will
I
find
think
out.
I think a little bit of the last one, I think there was an injury issue.
Couldn't do it or couldn't run very fast because injured.
Because of that, because of doing assigned work.
Okay.
Kind of like we said, random stuff.
Okay.
And race wasn't even told about the race until like a week
Just
before.
it just happened.
Just popped in. So that this is unscripted.
Okay. So I'm going to do my best to try to like make this comparison because I was trying to set this up, okay? So that same person, okay, we're going to compare them to another person of similar size,
Okay.
okay? Now, that same person, this person we know for a fact does strength training at least 4 to 5 times a week.
Okay.
Yes, we've already established that.
Yes.
We know for a fact, maybe more.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're doing multiple in a day. Because I've seen that happen where they'll leave here and they go somewhere else and go work out again.
Correct.
That is correct?
Yeah.
That is correct. Okay. I want to make sure I'm not making stuff up.
No.
Okay. So they're doing multiple strength efforts in a week. Okay. Multiple run efforts in a week. Yes.
Yes.
Now, this other individual, this is one of the people I'm coaching. Now, this isn't your fault.
Okay.
Okay. I could give you athletes that I have that are just like that person.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But this is a good person.
Okay.
No, that's not the right way to say that. This is someone who listens.
Follows,
better way?
follows the plan.
Follows the plan. That's a
Follows-
better way.
yes.
Thank you. Right.
Follows the
We're
plan.
working, guys. We're trying. I'm sorry.
We're doing our best.
We're doing our best. All right. This person does strength training maybe twice a week. If we count Sundays 3, and I think you could count Sundays.
I would say yeah.
I think you can count Sunday.
People
but then
are-
if we count Sunday, we probably have to add another strength day for that other person too.
Yes. So
Yes?
that's yeah.
5 to 6.
Okay. So, but I'm going to say 3 strength efforts a week. Now they run 7 days a week, 6 to 7 days a week. Okay. With technically 2 speed efforts because they have a very specific speed effort they do once and then Sunday. And obviously they're running fast. So Sunday's kind of speed and strength. You know how that is.
Yeah.
Right? But all of their runs, except for Sunday and I don't know what days, Wednesday or Tuesday or something like that, are like super easy, very low intensity, super low intensity, very chill. Okay. So they're running very, 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 very easy. They're doing 2 strength efforts a week. One of them I know is not very hard because it's an assigned, we literally call it the runner's reset.
Okay.
And so it's no weight. It's just bands. It's more like, let's work on weaknesses. Let's support muscle groups. And then one is a little more challenging, heavier weights, very compound movements, cleans, snatches, deadlifts, jumps, whatever, right?
Okay.
So it's more challenging. And then there's Sunday. Now this person has definitely gotten stronger, like put on probably a good 5 to 10 pounds of muscle in the last year and has gotten leaps and bounds faster and has not been injured, period.
Yeah.
Okay? So you got this person over here who only does strength training a couple days a week, runs all their runs super duper duper easy, all but 1 or 2.
Okay.
Okay? Then you got this person over here who does less running,
Mileage wise.
volume wise, okay? The runs are all probably either too easy or too hard or too easy. Yes?
Yep.
They're constantly doing nothing but strength training almost every day of the week. for the most part.
If we look at 6-month average, yeah.
Okay. And on top of that, those are probably not too easy, not too hard. They're in the gray area.
The strength or the speed?
Yeah, the strength stuff.
Strength is, I think, probably volume-wise, probably a lot.
Okay. So, do you feel like when we give these two comparisons that the two athletes are doing completely different things, but one athlete apparently, just if we look at on paper, one athlete has improved much better by leaps and bounds. Would you agree with that? Because I think you know who I'm talking about with this athlete.
Yes.
Right? So would you say that this athlete has improved drastically while this athlete, maybe they have improved, but it's very...
There's a lot left on the table.
That they could get.
There's
a
lot
could have had.
They could have, and what I've been trying to stress is you could be a lot more improvement with less.
There it is. That's the point.
With less. So you are doing this much, and I'm saying you can get better by doing less.
There it is.
And that's kind of the, people think I'm lying or I don't know.
I would say that sounds great to me. I
to
do
me,
less
I can
work
do
and I
less
get better.
Be better.
What?
That's the kind of same thing. I do 2 strength workouts, 3 if we include Sunday.
Yeah.
That's
So here's the other flip side, and this may give it away. But this person over here that I was talking about is significantly older than this person over here that you were talking about.
yeah.
Now, you would think that if you're younger, you should be getting better because your upside is more. And when you're older, you're decrepit and you're on the other side of the hill.
Yes.
So this person's probably a good 10 years older than this person is.
Yeah.
Okay? So strength training is very important for running. It's very important for high rocks. How you add that strength training in and how deliberate you are and making sure that you are planning it based off of what you need to work on, not just randomly going out and doing things.
100%.
Or just there's no plan, there's no progression, there's no, it's just based on how you feel today. And one of the things I try to tell my athletes all the time is we don't let our heart rate, our pace, or how we feel dictate what we're doing today. We use it as a metric, we use it as a guide, but we don't let it dictate if today I'm supposed to do speed work, okay, and I'm tired and I don't feel like doing it and I don't want to do it, okay, I'm doing speed work today. If I have the time and I'm not sick and I'm not injured, I am doing the speed work today because there is no guarantee on race day that I'm going to feel 100%. I'm probably going to feel like I'm going to be so nervous, right? I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be whatever. Yes, I'm going to be a little amped up, but I'm also probably going to be like, I don't want to do this because I know it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So if you don't put yourself in that situation in training, then when race day comes, you're going to bomb or you're going to lose it or you're just going to quit. Well, on the flip side of that, there are days where you feel amazing and you're like, it's go time. And there are some athletes that's how they train. They train based on how they feel. To me, I think you do yourself a disservice because you're not going to feel good all the time and you're not going to feel bad all the time. And so if you go off of how you feel, you don't learn the beauty of discipline and how to push yourself when you're not feeling good and how to hold yourself back when you are feeling great. And any person that has ever stepped to a starting line knows that you go through all of those feelings in a race. You feel amazing sometimes and you feel like trash sometimes. And you can work through all of that through discipline because you understand that sometimes your mind plays tricks on you.
We discussed, I put my dog down this week. Mm-hmm. Devastated. Mm-hmm. Devastated. I did not want to go do my speed work.
Right.
I couldn't do it on Tuesday, just long day. And I woke up the next day, I was like, the discipline. I was like, I've told my athletes, I was like, exactly what you said. It's not how you feel. You shouldn't let that dictate you training. Oh, I don't feel good today, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the discipline. I went out, did my speed work.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like it, but hit my pace.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a confidence boost come race day that I could go out there and hit it when I didn't feel like it.
Dude, I will tell you, and now when I say feeling good or don't feeling good, if you've got a cold or you've got a stomach bug or something, I'm not telling you not to go out and switch it to the next day. That's fine. Whatever. Yeah. Right? But if you just don't feel like doing it or you're feeling lethargic, this past Tuesday, Like when I showed up to do our run club, dude, I was tired, man. My legs felt heavy. I felt like they still felt heavy from Sunday.
Yeah.
And I was tired. I wasn't feeling, I was ready to be home. You know, it was already, and now it's that season where it's like dark by the time we start it. Well, that doesn't help either, you know? But there are all these people there. They're expecting us to do this workout. Like, I'm trying to set a good example. You know what? I'm just going to go out and do the best I can. I'm just going to go out and I'll just do what I can do. You know, I've done it 3 times before already. So if I've done it 3 times before, I can probably limp through it again. You know, I can make my way through it. I can do this.
Yeah.
And it was one of the best ones I've had in the past 3 weeks. Like the best paces, the best I felt. I just had to get going. I had to get past that first one. And like it turned out like the metrics looked really good, but I didn't feel good the entire time. And the whole time until like the last set, I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. My legs are starting to liven up a little bit. But if I had gone off of how I originally felt, I wouldn't have done it at all.
Sometimes it's just getting going. Like you said.
Just got to get moving.
I've hit like, a few of the fast finishes. First, the first one was like, ooh, this ain't looking good. But I was like, nope, just keep going. See what happens. And then just slowly legs kind of, like I said, loosen up, cadence quickens, and just you fall right into the pace. And it builds that confidence. Hey, I wasn't feeling great, and, my legs felt tired, but it rolled right into that pace. So it is a big confidence boost doing those.
So, I mean, I think the whole thing about strength training is just simply this, is that just like your running training, it needs to be deliberate. It needs to be planned out. There needs to be progression with it. But ultimately, runners should be doing strength training, and they should be doing it regularly. And they should probably be doing it multiple times a week. But ultimately, if you are going to be a good runner, you need to run. And you need to run regularly. But you need to be deliberate about the types of runs and the types of strength training that you are doing. And if you do that, you're going to notice a significant improvement in your overall performance, in how you feel, and the likelihood of you getting injured is going to drop significantly.
Yeah.
So I don't know any runner that I've ever assigned strength training to that hasn't improved and hasn't ultimately enjoyed the strength training.
Yeah.
So, and especially ones that are like fully committed to it. I mean, Larry, Jessica are both good examples. Like they're runners. Like they are runners.
Yeah, they really are deep
When
down.
I started coaching them, they were nothing
all the way
but runners.
through.
Just now, Larry was awesome because he's also like a student of the game. So he was doing a lot of the things that like strength wise that you need to do, but I think it was because he had been having some injury, like some kind of issues, and so he did research.
Okay.
And so a lot of the stuff, it was part of his warm up. He'd do like band, like what are they called? What are those steps? You told me the name.
Monster walks.
Yeah. Squats. Clamshell, stuff like that. So he was doing those things, and he was doing other lifting and stuff on his own. So he's got like a little gym in his garage and stuff. But he was a runner, so he was doing runner workouts, right? And so when we started working together, I was giving him a lot of those kinds of things, but then I also gave him some other stuff too that I think he really enjoyed. And obviously they've helped him because he just got a freaking 8-minute PR on the marathon. Same thing with Jessica. She's put on a pretty good amount of muscle in the last year or so.
Oh, yeah.
She's done a lot of strength training, and she's done a lot of running, a lot of volume and stuff like that. But I think she's learned, and she was really uncomfortable in the beginning. Now, I specifically remember her telling me she doesn't want to do strength training, right? Yeah. She's like, burpees are stupid. Like she came to a Sunday Fun Day, I think, one time, and we were doing like all that stuff in between the runs and stuff.
Right.
And she was like, I'll just do the running.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
But you mentioned Jessica's name. She hasn't been injured, and not to jinx her, but this is a person adding strength training that's averaging 40 miles a week for the last year. Well, so it's not
the last 6 months, probably more than that.
Yeah. Well, no, for her yearly average, she did like 60, 70.
I think she maxed out at 75. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's, but you're right. She's averaged at least 45 miles
average
as an average.
That's an average. So her low weeks, that's just the average. That's every week. There's not a week of if you told Jess, hey, did you not feel like running that week? She'd probably look at you crazy. What are you talking about?
For sure.
What does that even mean?
Yeah. But yeah, for her, it was hard for her to slow down. She likes to go fast. So that was a challenge for her in the beginning. But now, she's nailed it. Now it's like, can I keep 118 beats per minute on a run and still run an 8-minute pace? And she can. So, that is the key, is to commit to all of the elements and be deliberate, strategic with what you're doing. And you don't have, that's the thing I think that I'm getting out of all this that we've talked about today. You don't have to work as hard as you think you do. You don't have to hurt as much as you think you do. But when it's time to hurt,
be ready
and know it's gonna hurt. So find the balance, or find that perfect number where, like, the majority of the time it's nice and chill, it's nice and easy, it's fun, you're joking around, whatever. But when it's time to go hard, you got to go hard. And those are hard things to do. So I think if you find groups or a good coach, you should know what easy is for you. I mean, you should know when you do a workout if something's easy. If you feel like you're done with that workout and you're like, I could do that whole workout again.
It's easy.
Or you feel like, man, that was a waste of my time. You nailed it.
That's it.
You nailed it. That was an easy workout. But if you got through with it and you're like, oh man, that was something else. That was kind of challenging. Then it was probably too hard to be easy, but it was not hard enough to be hard.
To really improve the fitness.
Yeah. So if you get the end of it and you're laying on the floor and you're
Gasping for
crying
life.
and the rest of the day you can't get enough food in you, that was a hard workout.
Yes.
So learning the differences between, and you need to have that good balance of a bunch of easy, one or so that's really, really challenging, and really limit that, like, middle of the road stuff, right? So, were there any more questions?
Oh, wait, no, we got them.
You got them all?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So, guys, that's what we wanted to talk about today. So hopefully you got something out of it. If you have some more questions, or maybe we touched on something and we didn't get deep enough into it, feel free to hit us up on Instagram.
Yep.
Or you can email me at james@mybcfit.com or lauren@mybcfit.com. We'll be, she can get those questions to me, or she'll answer them.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be happy to get more into it. So we are kind of coming to the end of the Back to the Basics series. We got one more week left. So next week's going to be our last week. So I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about, because if I do, you're not going to be interested.
And he hasn't told us.
I haven't told them either.
You can't get info out of us, so don't.
So it's kind of a teaser, but it's a teaser that you don't know what it means, because I want you to be like coming back being like, okay, what is this dude? What is he going to do? What is he going to tell us? It's going to be good, but you're probably not going to like it. Just FYI.
But you should come back anyway, please.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be probably one of those subjects where you're going to learn a lot if you'll listen, but it's going to be like a slap in the face.
Are you going to be on the soapbox?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's going to be a soapbox, and many of you are probably going to be like, are you talking to me? And the answer is yes.
Should I be caffeinated?
It's a tricky. We don't have time for that
Don't have
discussion. That's a whole nother discussion.
So, guys, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. The Build a Dreams has been going great. We've been doing amazing. We've just hit the $15,000 mark, so that's amazing. So thank you for everybody that's given. We have a list of people we need to definitely give some love to here on the podcast. So if you still can give, we're doing it to the end of October. And you simply can just go to mybcfit.com and you'll see the Build the Dream campaign to get all the details and all the information. If you want to support the Running with James podcast as well, you can become a Patreon member. Just go to patreon.com/runningwithjames to get more content. And it's just a small membership to do so. So, guys, remember, as always, we appreciate you. We thank you. And if you can change your mind,
You change your life.
peace out.
Change your mind, change your life.